I am looking for leaders who would say nobody will rig my election, and if you rig my election, I will fight. Nigerians, come out and fight. If they kill anybody, let them kill all of us. Oh yes, and thank God I'm seeing it happen. Was he advocating for violence? Was he advocating that the law should be broken? No. He was advocating for his right. That's my opinion. That's my advocacy. We must advocate for our right and stand by it. I did not disqualify anybody. I don't have that right. I said I am not going to speak for anybody going forward except this person meets this criteria. The IGP should be fired. You know why? By going to Rivers State. I'll tell you the laws he has breached. You cannot blame Governor Seun Fubara for saying that there is a need to build a psychiatric hospital to examine our leaders. PDP now, as presently constituted, is a party of abnormality. APC party, as presently constituted, is an apology. So these two parties have become unapologetically abnormal. They are the two heads of a monster. Come and talk, or forever remain silent. From now onwards in Nigeria, if you're given a duty, do it. Whoever wants to stop you, say no. Go ahead and do it. That's the only way we can be saved from this crop of leaders. They don't have conscience, they don't respect the rules, and they want to corrupt everybody. If you're a politician and you can't stand for your people that voted for you, and because you don't want to die, step aside. I want to first of all use this opportunity to offer my condolences on Nigerians that were drowned at the River Niger and on the River Niger. What we are celebrating in this independence is 64 years of madness, because you can't do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. That is the technical definition of madness. We are celebrating darkness. We are celebrating hardship. We are celebrating hunger. We are celebrating incompetence. We are celebrating corruption. We are celebrating the emergence of kakistocrats and kleptocrats in our government. The government by the worst, and the government by compulsive thieves. Our own president purportedly is jetting away to enjoy himself in vacation. What do you call that? What sane leader will go out to enjoy himself when more than 150 persons have died in a boat mishap? If that is true, then you cannot blame Governor Seun Fubara for saying that there is a need to build a psychiatric hospital to examine our leaders, because that's the only thing left to do. I will describe the situation in Rivers State as a state of madness, and I will describe the conduct as embarrassing. First and foremost, that a PDP will sabotage the government of PDP in Rivers State by purporting they are not going to partake in the election, in the local government election in Rivers State, tells you that PDP now, as presently constituted, is a party of abnormality. And that APC's government cannot do the right thing to encourage Rivers State to conduct its local government election, tells you that APC party, as presently constituted, is an apology. So these two parties have become unapologetically abnormal. And that is what is happening to the Nigerian state. Nigeria has become a nation that is unapologetically abnormal because of the influence of this PDAPC. I said it before that these two parties, they are the two heads of a monster, and we can see what is going on. Let us come into the issue of local government election. First and foremost, if you recall, the last regime of the local government in Rivers State, when their tenure ended, they wanted to extend their tenure through the instrumentality of the House of Assembly. And I was in support that it was illegal. And Governor Fubara wanted to use a caretaker committee to replace them. I was one of the lawyers that said this is illegal and that I do not support Governor Fubara to do that. And Governor Fubara can see that the Supreme Court sided some of us who said that the Constitution is clear on how the local government should be governed. And then you're telling me that some politicians who are enemies of progress, enemies of Rivers State, enemies of Rivers people, are parading the judgment of a lower court to say you will frustrate the judgment of the Supreme Court. That is judicial recklessness. What they should do or ought to have done is that they must do everything the law says they must do to comply with the order of the Supreme Court, which is that local government election must be held in Rivers State within 90 days. And so the IG of police going against the judgment of Supreme Court because he's parading the judgment of a high court is a blasphemy. Now, let me give an example. If the IGP of police gives an order and a police corporal disobeys it, and the IG summons the police corporal, and the police corporal stands in front of him and says, yes, sir, I disobeyed it because immediately you finished giving the order, the commissioner of police in my state gave a contrary order, and I decided to obey the order of the commissioner of police instead of your order. What do you think the IG should do to the policeman? Sack him. But that policeman, the corporal, has done exactly what the IG is doing. IG is purportedly saying he has an order of a high court when the Supreme Court has given an order, and he's saying he has decided to obey the order of the high court instead of that of the Supreme Court. And what does that mean? The IGP should be fired. You know why? By going to Rivers State, I'll tell you the laws he has breached. He has breached the policy of Tinubu's government, which is that every local government must hold the election within 90 days. And IGP is there to frustrate the holding of the election. So he's even working against the policy of Tinubu's administration. It wasn't me that went to court. It was the Attorney General of the Federation on behalf of the Federation and on behalf of the President, who is in charge of the executive powers of the Federation. So the IGP is working against the policy of this government. 2, IGP went to Rivers State. He was standing on the land of Rivers State, not on federal land. He was standing on state agencies' land, not on federal agencies' land. The Land Use Act, Section 1, said every land in a state, every land comprised in a state, is vested in the governor of the state. And the state is holding it. And the state governor is holding it in trust for the people. Which law gives the IGP the right to go and stand on a state land in front of a state agency? Because the only exception is if the land is federal government land or federal agency, to give orders to a state governor. No, it is the state governor that should give orders to the IGP, because he is the chief security officer of the state. I don't know where the IGP got that power, but let me tell the IGP, unknowing to him, he has committed a judicial coup. The Constitution is very clear. In Section 1, subsection 2, he said, the government of Nigeria shall not be governed, nor shall any person or group of persons take over the control of the government of Nigeria or any part thereof in any manner except in accordance with the Constitution. The Constitution has already decreed that the system of local government by democratically elected local government councils is guaranteed under the Constitution. So if the IGP went to Rivers State in the negation of this provision, then he has become an accomplice to trying to assist people, to give them the power, using the instrumentality of the state, to make Rivers State to be governed or a part of it by people not in accordance with the constitution. So the IGP is now an accomplice to trying to commit judicial coup. Let me tell you, by IGP of police withdrawing the security from Rivers State, anybody that dies or is killed in that election because of that withdrawal, that will be a murder case against the IGP of police. Any politician who is not willing to go the way of Governor Fubara, to stand up to resist criminality, illegality, to stand up to say, if I perish, I perish, but I will do the right thing. I will stand for democracy, stand for rule of law, stand for my people because they voted for me. Any politician who is not ready for that resistance and protest should step aside. What Governor Fubara is doing is absolutely correct. He's resisting intimidation, manipulation. He's resisting people who want to take over River State and the local government in a manner that the constitution has not decreed. The same people that were shouting that Governor Fubara was governing River State with caretaker committee are the same people that want to frustrate the election. That is how insincere liars operate in government. What they are fighting for is their pocket. It is their positions and power, not the people. And the people must rise up to defend themselves from these leaders. What the IGP of police has done is illegal, is ungodly, is criminal. He should apologize to the people of River State. Come and talk, or forever remain silent. From now onwards in Nigeria, if you're given a duty, do it. Whoever wants to stop you, say no. Go ahead and do it. That's the only way we can be saved from this crop of leaders. They don't have conscience, they don't respect the rules, and they want to corrupt everybody. If you're a politician and you can't stand for your people that voted for you, and because you don't want to die, step aside. Because that's what the job entails. Any politician that is not behaving like Fubara, who will resist and protest when his rights are trampled upon, knowing that our judicial system, knowing that our electoral system have failed us, that any politician who will not stand his ground, no matter the risk to his person, I said I will not speak for that politician again, and I maintain it. And you can see what is happening, because we can't go forward. We calm down. If Fubara has been saying calm down, do you know where River State would have been? He said he's ready for them. He's fully prepared. The election must go on. The election must hold. Winners must be declared. They will be sworn in. And whatever is going to happen, let it happen. I am looking for leaders who would say nobody will rig my election. And if you rig my election, I will fight. Nigerians, come out and fight. If they kill anybody, let them kill all of us. Oh yes, and thank God I'm seeing it happen. What Fubara did, was he advocating for violence? Was he advocating that the law should be broken? No, he was advocating for his right. That's my opinion. That's my advocacy. We must advocate for our right and stand by it. I did not disqualify anybody. I don't have that right. I said I am not going to speak for anybody going forward except this person meets this criteria.